Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. Holy shit, there's already people in here. United fans, Sanchez is a poor man's hazard. Good name, by the way. Thanks for joining me today on what is Monday Analysis, the show where I recap the weekend, talk about what's happened. I've let things sink in. I can give you my full honest opinion of what's happened and get you guys involved as well. Of course, United played Burnley at the weekend, an important game for us because we've got some really tough games coming up over the next few games. So that was our most winnable game for a little while, really. So we had to win it. We did it. It was a professional job in the end. Manchester United never really troubled by Burnley, and we put in a good performance, especially first half. Some of the play, the build-up play, the passing was absolutely lovely. Anthony Martial was just stunning. What a performance he put in. The guy's just a complete little French legend, really, isn't he? Just needs to start doing it on a consistent basis. He's very Thierry Henry-esque. He just is. He's got an eye for goal, great finish. And not only that, he's got all the skill to beat a man and set up his teammates. You know, number of times he did that yesterday, as well as really key cut chances for himself. And he got that amazing goal, which did remind me of that goal Dimitar Berbatov scored when he was at United. I don't know who it was against. But, you know, he's got the ball deep in his own half. And he's started the move off with a little pass to a teammate. He's run up the pitch into space. And he's there waiting for it to receive the ball back and put it in the back of the net. You know, that was a classic counter-attacking Manchester United goal there. A couple of passes, a really good driving run from Anthony Martial. The guy was just sheer class yesterday, easily the man of the match. Everybody who's joining me here, you're a bunch of legends. Thank you for joining in Monday Analysis. Do me a favour, chuck a like on this video. And also, as you're doing right now, get involved in the comment section. I'll try to read some out as I go along. But at the end, I will open the floor up to a few questions anyway and read some of the comments that you guys are writing. So much appreciated. But yeah, have some of that, Burnley, you bunch of melters. They're a dangerous side, actually. You don't want to go to Turf Moor. It's a tough place to go. And they've got a lot to fight for. They could easily get dragged into that relegation battle. They're pretty much in the relegation battle, aren't they? But they could get dragged into those few places if they're not careful. So that's a dangerous fixture that we have navigated safely. Onward we go to the Manchester derby, which is coming up Thursday night. Oh my days, what a huge game this is. This is a huge freaking game of football. This could be a season-defining game here against that bald bloke Pep Guardiola's munchkins there. You know, Manchester United are going to have to put in a really good performance to beat City. City are a very good team, of course. I'm saying he's, you know, a bald munchkin or whatever. But he is a really good manager, Pep Guardiola. He's very clever. He knows how to set his teams up and play that specific Barca style of play. He did done that to a reasonable standard at City. I still think he's underachieving as far as managers are going this season long, because think about the stick that Jose Mourinho has got this season. Well, Pep spent a shitload of money, perhaps had a better squad to begin with. He's not really doing a lot better, is he? I mean, if Manchester United win this game against City on Thursday night, then guess what? We go above them in the league. And people have been saying we've been shit all season long. Well, we're not far behind City. We're also not far behind those absolute losers, Liverpool, who lost yesterday to Crystal Palace. Christian Benteke getting on the score sheet a couple of times, you absolute little Belgian beauty. What a result that is. Just absolutely made the Sunday. We beat Burnley, and then the Scousers lose. It was absolutely beautiful. What a Sunday. So have some of that, you bunch of tyre thieves. Anyway, but like I was saying, we're only a few points behind Liverpool, and we've got 2 games in hand on them. So if we beat City, then we could go above Liverpool as well. I can actually see a Liverpool fan in here. Ryan Kirkpatrick says, obviously we fucked up. Yes, you did. You lost to Crystal Palace there when you're in the hunt for the top 4. You're having mares, pal. But he says, do you still have to beat Spurs, Arsenal and City? Well, that's very true. We've got a really tough run-in. If you look at the run-ins between now and the end of the season, United have got a really hard one. We've got Spurs coming up, City coming up, Arsenal coming up. Also, we've got to play those 2 very tricky ties against Celta de Vigo and hope that we get through to the final. So, yeah, he's right. We've got some really tough fixtures. But look at the way we played against Chelsea. Chelsea have been bossing it all season long. They're going to win the Premier League. But when they came to Old Trafford the other day, we made them look like a bunch of melters, because I really think Jose's just got Manchester United gelling now, got us where we need to be. We're looking a lot better under Jose. He's just a tactical genius. I really like what he's been doing the last couple of games. His tactics against Chelsea was spot on, as they were yesterday against Burnley. You know, even having Marouane Fellaini there, you know, dropping back into the defence at times there, holding in front of the back line, did a really good job of that. I mean, that's the sort of thing that Jose would have done specifically to deal with the 2 strikers of Burnley yesterday, and it worked an absolute charm. Tactically, you can't fault Jose Mourinho. So I think, yes, we've got these tricky games coming up, but they're just like any other games. I mean, you don't expect us to draw against Burnley last time around, or the West Broms, or the Bournemouths, or whatever. You don't expect that. So with United at this moment in time, with the squad we got, the players we got, and what we're fighting for, they're just as winnable games as any other game, in my opinion. So, yes, they're tough games. Manchester United are going to have to navigate them really well in order to still be in the hunt for the top four at the end of the season. But come on, pal, Liverpool are having absolute double mares. I expect them to drop some more points before now and the end of the season. Between now and the end of the season, of course they're going to drop points. They're shit. Look at how they played yesterday, how they allowed Crystal Palace to score 2 goals against them there and take all 3 points. I don't know. So ropey at the back. That's the thing with Liverpool. There's goals to be had when you're playing up against Liverpool. So if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm really worried because United are on the ascendancy. City are just in and around there. It could be Liverpool that drop out of the top 4 this season. I did say earlier on in the season I thought it would be Arsenal and Liverpool who drop out of the top 4 this season, and Manchester United are just about going to squeeze our way in there. Well, I tell you what, if we beat City, we could be finishing 3rd this season, which would just be absolutely majestic. Let's not count our chickens too early. We've got a lot of tough fixtures, as the Scouser mentioned earlier. So, it remains to be seen what's going to happen. But we're in a good position. Things are looking better under Jose Mourinho. Things are looking really good with this United side, even with all the injury problems that we've got. And we have got injury problems. I heard something earlier. Jose was going to say that Smalling and Jones are going to have to sort of play through the pain on Thursday night in the Manchester derby, which means that, he's going to play Jose and Smalling? Sorry, Jose's going to play Smalling and Jones, even though they didn't play in the game against Burnley, where we had Blind and Bailey, who was just a complete beast at the back there, playing. I don't really know. Is he going to rotate the team at all for the Manchester derby? Because we do have those tricky ties against Celta Vigo coming up. Is that more important than the league right now? Well, it puts Jose in a really difficult position because we do have these injury problems. How is he going to balance it between the league and the cup? My personal opinion is you just have to play your strongest team in whatever game we're coming up against right now. You have to play your strongest team and just hope that we can come through the game without picking up any more injuries and of course, win the games. But it's going to be interesting to see what side Jose puts out against Manchester City because we do have some injury problems at the moment. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is looking likely not to feature for the rest of the season, as is Marcus Rojo, which is a real blow. Because I've given Marcus Rojo a fair bit of stick over his career at Manchester United. But under Jose this season, he's really come on leaps and bounds. And I don't know what Jose's done with him. He's obviously worked with him. It's given him confidence. And all of a sudden, he looks like one of the best centre-backs in the Premier League. And he's also versatile. You can play him at left-back. Really gutted that Marcus Rojo isn't able to build on this brilliant bit of momentum that he's built this season for United, because he's been brilliant and now he's out for what looks like the rest of the season also. So some horrible United injury problems at the moment. We've got to address these. But I think we've got the players to come in. Look at how well Blind and Bailey slotted in to the last game. I know they are really good players, and of course we're only playing Burnley, so you would expect us to have a comfortable game either way, but still, you've still got to go out there and perform. They did that. And we had Anthony Martial come in there and provide a goal. Wayne Rooney came back into the side and he provided a goal. So yes, you're losing Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who scored 28 goals for United this season, whatever it is. And he is a big loss because he's a goal scorer. He's a big game player. He scored most of our goals this season. But we do have players to come in, whether it be Marcus Rashford coming in, who's just looked sensational again recently, whether it's Anthony Martial, who, if he can do it on a consistent basis, is one of the best players in the league. On his day, he's as good as absolutely anybody, as good as Eden Hazard, whoever. You know, you can mock me for saying that, but I honestly think on his day, Anthony Martial's brilliant. It's just about getting him to do it on a consistent basis, because sometimes it just looks like he can't be asked. It's like he's just can't really be bothered to play, and that is a little bit worrying, and maybe I'm being a little bit harsh there, but it seems like it sometimes his mannerisms and just the way he's playing out there, it doesn't bode confidence. But when he is on form, when he is trying, he just turns defenders into absolutely nothing. He twists the very best defenders in the league's blood in every single game where he's on his game, and that's just what you need. We need him to come in and provide those goals, provide those assists for his teammates, provide that danger, because Zlatan Ibrahimovic provides you a shitload of danger just with his aerial ability, his ability to hold up a ball. Even in the game against Burnley, where he didn't play fantastic, or the game against Chelsea rather, where he's held the ball up with a really good header and put Marcus Rashford in. That was a goal-scoring opportunity crafted by Zlatan. We're going to miss that. It gives you a presence up top there. But what we do need to do is get these pacey players in there, the likes of Rashford, the likes of Martial, the likes of Lingard, in there to really stretch the back line of the opposition team, get in behind, take it wide, get chances in the box. They will cause danger for any defence in the league. If you've got Lingard and Martial and Rashford up there and the likes of Mkhitaryan has got pace for days, then we're just going to do teams on pure pace alone. You put balls in, little threaded through balls through behind the defence like Ander Herrera did, of course, to Rashford in that Chelsea game. If you do things like that, then you're going to get these players on the end of it because they have got so much pace, much more pace than the average defender of the league anyway. So, yes, Zlatan's gone, Zlatan's out, we're going to miss his goals, but I'm kind of, in a way, almost reasonably happy that Rashford's going to get the opportunity now. Rashford's going to come into this side now. He's going to have some pressure on his shoulders. Let's see how he handles that pressure. He's been brilliant, 20 years of age, only getting better. He is the future of Manchester United in England. Look at the last couple of performances he's put in. He's been outstanding. So, you know, this is a great time for him to be given that sort of nod as the main number 9 striker out there. Let's see what you can do, Marcus lad. Let's see what you can freaking do, pal. And I hope he answers that with flying colours because, you know, we've all seen what a player he is. You know, even the neutrals out there who don't watch sort of much Manchester United football, they've seen bits and bobs of Rashford. They've seen him in an England shirt. They've seen how dangerous he is. He runs at players and he causes them problems. He's got pace for days. Not only that, he's got a real eye for goal. He's pretty much the English Chicharito Hernandez at this stage, but he's only 20 and he's only getting better than Chicharito Hernandez. So great to see him being put into the side. Let's see what he does. And Wayne Rooney, of course, came up with a goal at the weekend. Fair play to him. Been out the side for a little while. He's our captain, coming back into the side. He'll be going in the summer. I know he will. But for now, he can still have an impact. And also, it's just nice for him personally to come back into the side and contribute. He has done an awful lot for United, whether or not you think it's, you know, laboured or, you know, he's cried out for more money over the years and all these things. Whether you dislike him as a person, it's got nothing to do with his impact and the contribution that he's made to Manchester United over the years. He's the club's all-time leading goal scorer. His appearances are fantastic. I mean, just that alone, he's Manchester United's all-time leading goal scorer. What an achievement that is. I mean, most people would step over their own grannies to have that on their gravestone. And Wayne Rooney's done that, and he's still only 32 years of age. He could still remain here for a couple of seasons. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is the time he's going to move on. I think Jose wants to move on. We know how Jose likes to sort of move on the aging players and send the horses off to the glue factory, so to speak. You know, I think that is going to happen this summer. But while he's here now, he can still have an impact. Yeah, I mean, I was just really happy with the Sunday's events, what happened yesterday. You just couldn't write it. It was brilliant. City got knocked out the FA Cup by Arsenal. Fair play to Arsenal. Arsene Wenger, hopefully, to himself, is going to be getting a trophy this season, be it the FA Cup. And if he can't qualify for top 4, at least he can leave the club on a high note with a trophy, which I still don't think he's going to win in the final. But still, he's got an opportunity there to get to the finals. Brilliant. He's got an opportunity to win the FA Cup for Arsenal. And then if he does, I think he will just leave the club. Because there's so much upheaval at the moment in terms of just the fans. They want him to go. Most of the fans want him to go anyway. There's still a lot of fans want him to stay. I think for somebody who's given such a contribution to the club, you've got to give him the benefit of the doubt and sort of let him leave on his terms, especially if he's still up there competing when you haven't over the years really let him go out there and spend, and you have sold some of your best players along the way as well. You know, it's not really the perfect example of how to win the Premier League trophy. I think he's done a very good job without ever being given the same sort of resources or the same sort of trust, if you will, and also the same solidity with keeping players as some of the other top sides have at the top. So considering all those factors, I think he's done a decent job. I think he'll move on. In a way, I'd rather Arsenal won the FA Cup. I know most people probably won't agree with me with that, but there you go, that's my opinion. So fantastic day of football for United. Liverpool lost, of course. We're coming to hunt them down in the league. Top 4's looking way more likely now because, of course, we're only 3 points behind Liverpool. We've got 2 games in hand. Yes, they're very tough games to have in hand, but they're still games that we can get points in, and we're only a point behind City. I've just got a feeling deep down in my loins that Manchester United are going to beat City on Thursday night. I don't know why. Maybe they won't. You know, it's the optimism in me coming out. I feel like United have had a hard time of it this season, and we're just starting to turn things around. It's like people have been criticising us. You haven't won enough games. You've drawn all these games. You're looking shit. You've got Fellaini in there. All this rubbish. But we're still right up there challenging for those top 4 spaces, and people are not criticising the likes of Chelsea, they're not criticising Liverpool as much as Manchester United. I don't know why. But guess what? As it turns out, we're right in there, and this time next week we could be in 3rd position. So there's a lot of positives to take from what's going on at United at the moment. I'm going to open the floor up now to some comments. If you guys want to get your comments in, please do. I'll try and read them. Chris MCR says Klopp bottled both the finals last year. That's exactly true, and he bottled every final with Borussia Dortmund as well. The guy's a bottler, man. You know, he's a complete German bottler. I actually like him. I think he's an entertaining character. It's only that the fact that he manages Liverpool is the reason why I dislike him at all. He's a funny bloke. He's crazy. He's actually a freaking lunatic. He is, isn't he? Look at the state of him. Look at what he's doing on the sidelines. He's an absolute freaking lunatic. But you've got to like that. I like that about him anyway. And, you know, so... But yes, I think he's having a bit of a mare at Liverpool, and he would continue to have a mare. I think it's just a Liverpool curse. They're never going to win the Premier League. Anyway, Gary G says Liverpool are worth many billions. Well, yeah, I mean, all of the top clubs in the Premier League here, you could probably sell them for a ridiculous amount of money. With the assets they've got and just where they are and the influx of money that there is in the game today. Yeah, that's probably a fair comment. Saeed Hashim says, your prediction for the derby? Well, I mean, I do think Manchester United are going to get the victory. I can't really go out on the line and say what's going to happen in the game because who knows. But I've got a feeling Manchester United are going to get a clean sheet and we're going to win the game. So I'm going for 2-0. You know, there could be a host of people on the score sheet. I think Martial's going to step up and build on that really good performance he put in against Burnley, and he's going to get on the score sheet. And then guess what? The same goal scorer as the last game as well. Wayne Rooney's going to step up. You know he loves a derby. There we go. Phil James says the only thing Klopp has done for Liverpool was make them better in pressers. I think that's what he said. The comment just disappeared. But yeah, the press conferences are way better with Jurgen Klopp in there and to the general post-match interviews compared to that twat Brendan Rodgers, who's just like, Steven Gerrard, he's a fantastic technician and he's absolutely wonderful. Yeah, you're boring, Brendan. Shut up. Yeah, Jurgen Klopp brings a lot more to the table than somebody like Brendan would have done. So yeah, I totally agree with you. He's pretty much the only thing that he's improved at Liverpool is the press conferences. Good comment there, pal. Zarupi says United need to play 2 up top. Well, you saw what happened when we played against Chelsea with Lingard and Rashford causing them all sorts of problems with their pace. What I like about having 2 pacey strikers is that you can get balls in behind the defence and they could run onto it. And whether or not they can get through one-on-one goal with their sheer pace alone doesn't really matter, because if they can't, they can take it wide. That allows the midfield players to come further up the pitch and fill that space, and it allows them to get a ball into the box. So if you've got pace up top there with 2 pacey strikers, you can just stretch the shit out of defences left, right and centre. Lenny Turner, he asked me a question. He says, would you keep Ibra for next season? I personally would. I think it's looking less and less likely that's going to happen now, only really because of the injury. How long's he out for? Certainly the rest of the season. Is he going to be back in time for next season? Is he going to be the same player? The guy's 35 years of age. He's only getting older. We've got him in what was like a great period for him. It's like, some sort of renaissance for him. Not even a renaissance, because he's always been solid, he's always been good, but we've got him when he's really at the peak of his powers, even still at 35 years of age. Is he going to be the same man coming back after that injury with a bit more age and a bit of time out of the game? I think he would be, actually. This is Zlatan Ibrahimovic we're talking about. The guy's an absolute beast. He could certainly come back next season and still be a big player for United. If I'm Jose, I'm keeping him around the club just for his experience alone, just for, if we ever do need somebody to come in there, what a great player to bring off the bench. I don't think he'd want to stay under that role. But I would keep Zlatan Ibrahimovic around the club just because of the presence he's given us. Look at what he's done for United this season, all those goals he scored us, and he does give you that sort of Cantona arrogance up there where he's just leading the line. And he just feels like he's better than everyone else. So, that sort of confidence is really good when it comes to winning games and finding that winning mentality and having somebody leading from the front there with that mentality. It's very important. So I would keep Zlatan Ibrahimovic around, but it sort of brings me on to a point I wanted to talk about actually, which is Antoine Griezmann. I read earlier on Sky Sports that Manchester United are leading the hunt for Griezmann, and that City and Chelsea and, your aunt, your uncle, pretty much everybody is in the hunt for Antoine Griezmann, and rightfully so, because he is a really good talent. He's another player who's only getting better. How old is he? Like 24, 25, 26? He's not even coming up to the best years as a footballer, and he's looking like one of the best players in the world. I would bring him to the club, break the bank, go out there, especially if you're not going to keep Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We need somebody like him coming in. Apologies for drinking out of a Sports Direct mug as well, supporting that twat Ashley over at Newcastle United. What am I doing? But it's big cup and it's like 99p. So anyway, I'm a sellout. No, I'm joking, but there you go. What was I talking about? I've totally got off the point, but yeah, Antoine Griezmann, he could come to Manchester United and fill that slot that Zlatan would leave if he does leave, and I think maybe it's looking more likely that he will leave because of the injury now. But Antoine Griezmann, bring him to the club. If you can bring Romelu Lukaku to the club as well, bring him to the club. He's another top quality player, and that's something United just need more of. You know, you can see with all the competitions we had this season, at times our squad's been stretched. If there's been a period of injuries, it's blatant to see that we need people to come in there and perform at high level. And you can only really do that if you've got strength and depth. So yes, I would sign Griezmann, I would sign Lukaku, I'd go out there and sign Sergio Ramos or a Hummels or a top quality centre-back in the summer to come in and help the likes of Bailey and, you know, Rojo and all these people next season. Why not? We need strength and depth. And I think Jose's the sort of manager that can attract those kind of players. We will see in the summer, but he certainly attracted Zlatan Ibrahimovic to Manchester United after working with him at Inter. He's got connections, he's got this sort of mystery about him. He's got this aura, does Mourinho, and certainly players like to play for him. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw that clip after Inter won the Champions League that year with Jose, and they've done the treble with them, and they've won the trophy. And he's leaving. Everyone knows he's leaving after that game. And you've got Marco Materazzi, who's like this big, hard defender, you know, complete twat of a human being, really. But he's got him bawling his eyes out and hugging Jose Mourinho, saying, "Don't go, Jose." You know, I don't know if you've ever seen that clip, but that clip was quite unbelievable. Wow, Alex Rincon's just given me $2. Well, not me. I think I'll get a percentage of that. But you're a legend, Alex. Thanks very much. Has just given me a super chat, I believe it's called. He says, you rule, pig. Keep it up. Alex Rincon, you rule, pal. Thank you very much for doing that. You're a legend. In fact, I think that's one of my first super chats that I've had. So thank you very much for doing that. You're a hero, pal. You're actually a hero. And you're one of my long-time subscribers, so I'm going to give you a proper shout-out for doing that, Alex. You're a lad. Alex Rincon, check him out. Check out his, I don't know if he's got a YouTube channel, but on Twitter or whatever, top bloke. Yeah, you totally made me lose my train of thought there, but basically Jose Mourinho is a legend, and Manchester United are looking way better with him at the helm. Forget this Louis van Gaal, David Moyes days, they're over. We're only getting stronger with Jose at the helm now. Say what you want about him, I still think he's one of the best managers in the world, if not the best manager in the world. He's coming to United after a season of turmoil under Louis van Gaal. He signed a couple of players. He signed Zlatan on a free transfer, 35 years of age, basically the best free signing ever. He's provided all the goals. That's a masterstroke. Look what he's getting out of Fellaini at the moment. That's a masterstroke. The tactics last couple of games have been brilliant, just played to an absolute T. That's a masterstroke. You know, the guy's an absolute master. That's all I can really say. I can't praise him highly enough. There was times, if you look at the last couple of seasons, if you've been following this channel, where I've got on Louis van Gaal's case, I've got on David Moyes' case, but that's because I can see they're doing things just completely wrong. I'm not saying I agree with all of Jose's decisions, but generally, the stuff that he does, I think, fair play to you, and the stuff that he does that I don't agree with tends to work, like playing Fellaini or bringing Fellaini on in games and him having a positive impact in the game, which is something I wouldn't expect him to do. So trust in Jose. He knows what he's doing. United are only going to be improving under him. It's happy days for United at the moment. We are just on the rise. We're on the rise. If we win the Europa League, we're in the Champions League next year, we might even not need to win the Europa League. We can finish third or fourth this season. But this game, Thursday night against City, is absolutely epic. Make sure you tune in for that. Manchester United have got to do the business. It doesn't matter about the league right now. We could win the Europa. This is personal. This is a game between City and United, a derby of the very highest derbies. Doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. It's such a huge game. Just for bragging rights alone in this city, we've got to put in a good performance and get the result. Just think about that. Just think about that, lads. I'm getting hyped up here. Think about if Manchester United win that game against City. Oh, what does that do for our season? That basically means we're going to get top four, I believe. That will give us the building block. That will give us the platform. This is a decisive game this season. And that will give us the platform to build on and just finish this season strongly. And it will also put us above City and give them a kick in the bollocks. They'll lose a bit of confidence. You know, look at Liverpool, what they're doing at the moment. So, yeah. Let's have a look. Sanjoy D-Riff says, Man United will finish top 3. I think you're right. I think you're right. Look at how we're doing. Everyone else is dropping points, looking poor, whether it be in the FA Cup losing to Arsenal or losing to Crystal Palace yesterday for Liverpool. They're having mares, whereas United are beating Chelsea, the league leaders, and making them look like a bunch of melters. We're beating Burnley, tough away game there, which earlier on or with a different manager, we might have lost that game or drew that game, but we did a professional job. We didn't at one point look in danger. We weren't in the 79th minute of the game flooding balls into the box, trying to score a late goal because we weren't able to do it in the first half. No! We did it. We did the business in the first half. It was 2-0 up at half-time and that game was put to bed, and that's a tricky tie to go to. So I think if anybody's going to be finished in top 3 or in that third position, then it is Manchester United. Dan Cromarty says, De Gea to go, who to replace him? What a difficult question. De Gea, I personally don't think he's going anywhere. I just think he can see what's happening at United. Got the same agent as Jose. I would expect him to want to win a little bit more at Manchester United after the sort of commitment and the time and effort and everything that he's put into the club and his development. Think about when we got David De Gea, and he was that little scrawny rat of a human being in goal there, and he was so light and feathery and, come up against Stoke City, and he just didn't look physically up to it at all. Well, now he does. Now he's turned himself into the best goalkeeper in the world. Just from raw, you could see the raw talent back then, but his progression at Manchester United, he's got to love United, and he's felt the trouble, and he's felt the sort of the strife that we've had over the last few seasons. He's been there for every step of that way. All the doubt and all the criticism and all of that and all the underachievement, he's been there. So I think he will want to stick around for Manchester United's period of success that's coming under Jose Mourinho. You could feel it. But if he does go, you couldn't really begrudge him in it. He has been a great servant to United for the time we've had him. He's been a match winner, pure match winner. If you want to talk about a match winner, David De Gea is a match winner. The amount of saves he's made that have just cost us or saved us points, really, because he's made some huge saves for United, which are as good as goals. So David De Gea, if I'm Jose, I'm doing everything in my power to keep him at the club, make him the highest paid player in the team. For all I give a shit, he's worth it. He is a match winner. But then if he wants to go back to Spain, if he wants to go and play for Real, who would I sign? Well, we've got Sergio Romero. He's a great goalkeeper. Look at the performances he's put in this season. It's not like he's played just a couple of games here and there. He's actually had a run in the Cups. He's looked really solid in all of those games. He's a really good goalkeeper. I don't think he's maybe number one material on a consistent basis. He does have some eccentricities in there. He's got some errors in there. But he is a good enough keeper to at least hold the fort down until we could sign one. I would have said, get Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris is like a poor man's David De Gea, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, one of the best in the Premier League. You're never going to prize Manuel Neuer away from Bayern. So if you're going from David De Gea, you can only really go down. But Hugo Lloris is not going very far down. But if Spurs have Champions League football, if Spurs are challenging for the Premier League and they've got Pochettino there, if they keep Pochettino, why would he want to go anywhere? So that's a tough one. I don't know the answer to that question. In terms of the goalkeeper, I'd give Sergio Romero a go, but it might not be too wise. Nobody's as good as David De Gea. Basically, just keep David De Gea. The only thing that's going to come from losing David De Gea is your team is going to be worse. Whether it's 0.001% and you sign Lloris, it's still going to be worse because he's the best. He's the best around. Right, anyway, I'm rambling on. God, 28 minutes this video's gone on for. Jesus. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I don't want you guys to feel bad because you're the ones watching this. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. It does mean a lot, you guys getting involved with these comments here. You're a bunch of legends. I love to have my say on Manchester United and interact with you guys and find out what you guys think about it. It's all just banter, isn't it? We're football fans, we're passionate, we share our passion, we've all got different varying opinions. Well, I'm having my opinion here and you can get yours in the comment section. I'll respond to them as well. Oh, Paper Boys just sent me $10. You're an absolute legend, pal. From America there. Canadian dollars, I believe, actually. Canada. Now, it says United are going to Stockholm. Awesome content. Loving the live streams. Decent seeing you on Full Time Devils earlier. Thanks very much. Do check out their full-time review. Haven't been on Full Time Devils for a little while. Used to do match reactions for them every single time. But obviously, I'm right down on the South Coast. I can't really get up for games. They changed their format a little bit. They just want fan cams outside the stadium, like an Arsenal Fan TV type thing. And I get that, so I'm not going to be featuring on their channel so much, but I will get involved from time to time whenever they can't do fan cams or, that sort of thing. But Paperboy, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for doing that. Alex Rincon and Paperboy showing their support for the channel. You can show your support for the channel too by smashing a like on this video and telling your mates, sharing these videos, subscribing along. It's much, much appreciated. I'm just going to leave it on this one comment here. CM says you rock, pig. I left the first bit out because it just got off, but he basically said fuck them, don't know who he was talking about. And United Till We Die said, well done, well, with the squad restates injuries and Thursday football, we've done well. Yeah, we have done well. It has to be said, Jose's first season coming in there. I wasn't expecting us to win the League Cup. I wasn't expecting us to potentially win the Europa League. And I was half expecting us not to get top four. That's actually bullshit. At the start of the season, I thought we were going to win the league. But after it's not started too well for us, I did readjust my expectations, and I thought it would be difficult for United to get into the top four. Certainly at times this season, I've thought there's no way Manchester United are getting top four. Certainly at times. So just the fact that we are where we are, we're still in the hunt here. We've got a game against City Thursday. We're 1 point behind them. We've got 2 games in hand on Liverpool. We're 3 points behind them. Just those facts means that that's quite a positive season for United. But the fact that we've won the League Cup, the fact that we're going to win the Europa League, that's right, and finish third in the league. What an outstanding season that would be for Manchester United with Jose Mourinho coming in, first season in charge after that season that happened to him last year at Chelsea, coming in, proving the doubters wrong, winning 2 trophies in a rebuilding transitional season at United. The guy would be an absolute Portuguese legend. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Chris MCR says, Pep's made City worse. Yeah, I think you might be right. If you look at how Pellegrini was doing with them, even Mancini, they were a better team. It's like he's got this way of playing and he doesn't like to adjust, even if it's, necessary. So yeah, the guy's a twat. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Thank you for tuning into this. Thank you for everybody who sent me a super chat during this, or say everybody, it was Alex and Paperboy, but you're a bunch of legends. Thank you for doing that. And also chuck a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. You can follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, all of that stuff at Mr. Flying Pig HD. So please do that. Please send me some abuse or some love. That's your call. But for now, thank you very much for tuning in to this Monday analysis episode. I hope it's been mildly entertaining for you. Come back after this video has been published and please do comment, because these comments that I'm replying to now, they tend to disappear after this video has been posted. But if you want to have your say on anything I've covered in this video, or you just want me to see something and respond to it, or others to respond to it, come back once this video is officially published on the channel and get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and I'll see them and I'll reply to them as best I can. But thank you for tuning in. This is the Flying Pig on Flying Pig United. Have yourself a good rest of the week. Really looking forward to this Manchester derby Thursday night. We've got to do the business. Even if we lose, it's not the end of the world, but I really think this is the best time to play City. They are looking worse at the moment. They're looking like they've got a loss in them. And Manchester United, they're looking better. We're looking like we can go out there and we can beat anybody at the moment. Look at that Chelsea game. So come on, United, we can do it. Believe and we will achieve. Oh, that was way too cheesy. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Have yourself a good one. This is the Pig. Take it easy.